set list is this. Comics walk on stage, they get a set list of very strange words that they've never seen before until the moment they're on stage, and they walk up and act like that's their act. They perform from a set list they've never seen and act like that's what they meant to do.
Post, I think you know a girl is too young for you.
A set list is the little notes a comic has with just 1 or 2 words, couple words to remind them of what might be 15 minutes of material. It's sort of like a set list for a musician, except that would be song titles. This could just be some odd word that inspires a 15-minute routine. And so for a comedian to get a list of things that could be anything is exciting and daunting at the same time.
You know, a lot of people aren't really familiar with Nirvana's first album. And I think part of the problem was that they might have been trying to attempt too much. However, later when they re-released the album, it was called The Pencil Case Wank.
It's actually really exciting to see these people who sell out the O2 Arena, you know, to see Tim Minchin backstage going, I'm about to go on set list, I've never been this frightened, you know. That is pretty trippy, but what the great thing about it, aside from any sort of schadenfreude, like how funny that is, the great thing about it is it's a great equalizer. It doesn't matter if you're the most famous comic in the world or you're me or Troy Conrad. There's no difference between you when it comes to set list.
Chess grandmaster Garry Kasparov says anybody in a profession where they take themselves seriously needs to throw themselves new challenges in order to get better and grow, even if they've reached the pinnacle of their career. And that's kind of what this does. The best comics in the business do it, and they go, I've never experienced this.
It's I guess it's the equivalent of kind of working out in a gym, but in a weird way, what it calls upon for a comedian to do, it calls upon all these talents and tools and freedom and a certain innocence and a childlike quality to just be able to be funny in the moment about anything.
Comedy goes in so many exciting directions, ladies and gentlemen. That's the most important thing. This is one of those directions, but there are even further directions, ladies and gentlemen. People don't expect it. People aren't going, that's what I'm going to hear a few laughs, ladies and gentlemen, but it's in there. It's in there if you look hard enough, ladies and gentlemen. It helps if you speak Arabic. Otherwise, you're just going, sprinkle.
When Dara O'Brien came to do it at the Soho Theater, I talked him into just coming and seeing the show. I said, you just got to see it. And he came and he was like, all right, I'll do it. Well, we happen to have a set list ready. And he went up and he was a nervous wreck before he did it, and he went up and did an entire list in about 4 minutes, and it was breathtakingly funny from start to finish. And as he came off, he literally came off the stage, walking right up to me and just grabbed me and said, I have to do this again right now. It was so hilarious. It really is like, it really is just a trip. It's just an exciting, weird, fun thing.
You're starting a sentence that you don't know how that sentence is going to finish and if it's going to be funny.
There's more terror here than in any other gig I've done.
And you know, what with the news going so crazy right now with Gaddafi and his son, they're really forgetting all about the Gaddafi girl, who is I don't know. Gaddafi has a line of cosmetics. I don't know if you know that or not. He's and because you know, and it's mostly eye makeup because you can't see the rest of it. So
it's like jumping out of an aeroplane
and just trusting that the parachute works. I don't know if you've ever jerked off to a canned ham, but you work it up into a lather to the point where basically what you're ejaculating is spam.
And shitting yourself is very underrated. I think people need to shit themselves more. It makes you grow. It makes you
Isn't that really the point of comedy?
The point of comedy. Isn't that why we get into this business? Everybody that starts out has that feeling in the first weeks of just constantly shitting themselves, and this brings that back in a great way.
Basically, it's a romance story about a young girl's choice between bestiality and necrophilia. Well, I nailed that gig. Bye.
Hey, I'm Paul Provenza, and Troy Conrad and I are bringing Setlist to Galway. Don't miss it.
Asking a comedian to improv an entire stand-up set is like asking a magician to do real fucking magic.